Everything's moving when you're on a boat.
Okay. So I don't even know what day this is, but we're recapping yesterday.
Well, actually, we missed some stuff from a couple days ago, I think. Did we talk about... Rick has been a long-haul trucker.
Dude, we're basically sailing with the equivalent of a Marine Teamster.
There's a serious Chuck Norris situation going on.
Yeah, like in every frontier job you could have, this guy's done like mountain man, mountaineer, lumberjack, forest firefighter.
He's pretty much done it all. I don't know, man. I don't know what his deal is, but we're trying to find out more.
Yeah.
He basically he told a story the other day, not only about the time how he saw a great white shark while he was fucking in the water, like scuba diving, because he's a dive master. Dude, he saw a great white shark like 20 feet above his head. But also how he was spear gun fishing for halibut. He shot the fucker in the face, and then wrestled it at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, so it wasn't the bottom of the ocean, it was the bottom of like fucking the beaches or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a reef.
Basically
in the ocean, but
wrestled it down to the ground, kneed it in the fucking side, and killed it with his bare hands.
Yeah, so
like wrestled a fish to death.
Pretty intense. Yesterday we did a little bit of sail work.
This is 2 pieces of sail work, actually.
Yeah. What did we do? We took down the jib.
Did we do something with the main? Did we have to re-reef the main? No. Is that shit? It's all blurred together.
When did you get cut up? Did we talk about that?
That might have been yesterday.
No, that was 2 days ago. Yeah. So
we did a post about that though, eh?
Yeah. So that was 2 days ago. But yesterday something else happened, but I don't remember what. We caught a fish.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, we caught some freshwater fish.
That's not freshwater, dude.
I mean, we caught some...
We caught a fucking fish. It was very fresh.
Isn't that warm-blooded though?
Yeah. Time from ocean to skillet was less than 30 minutes.
Seriously. Got it killed and caught in 30 minutes in our mouth.
They hooked it in the belly, threw it in a bucket, threw some Jack Daniels on it.
Yeah, they drowned it in Jack Daniels. They gave it a shot of Jack and it died immediately. Which you would too if you fucking saw this honey-flavored Jack that was $15 for 750 milliliters at Costco.
Yeah, and then I got my first chance to butcher it, so the other...
Cut that fish up good.
One of the other crew members got one side, and I filleted the other side.
Delicious ahi tuna.
It was okay. I mean, we saw worms in the fish. That was disconcerting. So no one ate it raw. That's why we had to cook it properly.
Fish had worms in it.
Yeah, apparently most fish have worms on them and shit. But you could like see the fish, like the worms like squirming around in the fish.
Where do they get the worms?
They eat them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's really gross.
Yeah, it's fucking gnarly. And then I attempted my first like baking expedition all on a moving boat. Yesterday I made apple crisp.
Highly successful and well received across the board.
Yeah, it was like it was just demolished within 5 minutes of serving it. Also, we had to... No, we put up the jib and we took down the jib.
Yeah.
There we go. We did 2 pieces of sail work.
That's true.
And it's while they were taking down the jib. My crisp was in the oven, so I started to take it out early because I didn't want to risk burning it. And I'm like, the crisp is more important than the jib right now.
Yeah. Oh, and a note about fishing off this boat. We're going about 6-7 knots, and we have 20-pound line.
Fucking ridiculous.
I put some squids out there, some squid lures out there earlier, like the second day of our trip, and we lost a couple of them because the fish that caught them were too big, too strong for the fucking line. It literally, there's a fucking 5-foot fish that I had hooked that I was trying to reel in that got away because it was too powerful. It just fucking snapped the line and jumped up, and we saw it and we were like, oh, monster! Ah! And it just fucking disappeared. So I want that fish back, and I want it in my mouth. That fish would have fed us for like a week, easily. It was like a 60 or 80 pound fish.
To be fair, if we were diligent with this fucking like 5 or 6 pound tuna that we caught, wait, how big do you think that tuna was?
It wasn't that big, maybe Yes, 6 pounds.
Yeah,
5
that could have fed us for 2 days if we were really diligent with the meat. But we went to town and had fish burritos.
Yeah, with the worms and stuff.
You didn't even fucking know about this shit. She cooked it more than properly. There's
What
nothing
about
to be
the
afraid
fish
about.
head? We put that in the big stew.
Yeah, there's like, we got the fucking fish head stew going right now.
What's gonna go in it? I've never had fish head stew, but maybe a
I don't
chowder.
want it. It's gonna be a chow. I don't want it. It grosses me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, our energy consumption's somewhat perilous right now. We only have a finite number of refuels for the generator, and
it's running out. So eventually our fridge is going to die and we'll come limping in to port without refrigeration or power.
So we have to start eating all of our frozen goods right now. That's kind of scary, but I'm not really thinking too hard about it. Everyone else is pretty chill. We finally moved into the trade winds, which are the faster winds that blow directly towards Hawaii.
Directly west, basically.
Yeah, like 260-something degrees, or whatever. So it basically gives us perfect, that's all the power we need, just to have the wind down our ass, and then take us right to Hawaii.
We might finally throw a big-ass spinnaker that we have in the hold anchor, in the anchor locker. Sail locker, we might throw the spinnaker up there, and if we do, it'll give us like tremendous burst of speed. Also, I learned how to calculate theoretical hull speed. It's simple. It's the waterline length, the square root of the waterline length times 1.34, which is some Wayne water constant. Which puts us at about 9 knots on this boat, 9.3-ish. And, you know, if we exceed that, we're in the danger zone. That's a comfortable cruising speed. Actually, all it means is if we exceed that is that it takes, like, increasingly enormous amounts of power just to add knots on top of that. So getting to 9.2, or whatever the theoretical hull speed is, easy. Like, that doesn't take as much power as getting past that. Anything past that point, like 10, 11, 12, takes tremendous amounts of power, and that's how you know we're dealing with, like, gale force winds or crazy fucking currents.
Yeah. I've been fortunate, like, Ben and I have the graveyard shift, and that's unfortunate, but I've been fortunate enough to occasionally get cloudless nights, or patches of cloudlessness, and so I told Ben that I finally understand the Milky Way. It stretches across the southern hemisphere.
Beautiful.
It's gorgeous. I don't know.
Stars out here are pretty crazy.
Dude, you can see like every fucking star. And the joke I made to Rick earlier was like, 3 days into sailing, I now understand why man was humbled at the sight of the stars, dude. There are just too many of them floating like white jelly beans in some sort of black ether.
Yeah.
It's
Well, yesterday was a gorgeous sailing day. Yesterday was real Pirates of the Caribbean sailing.
Oh yeah, this thing is now becoming more and more essential to not only... I was called the Poor Orlando Bloom by Pedro the other day.
The poor man's Orlando Bloom.
No, just Poor Orlando Bloom.
Well, he forgot to say poor man, doesn't know like the translation. It's still funny. I taught him how to say the poor man because he was the one who was like, in Brazil we have this phrase, in Portuguese we have this phrase called the poor actor guy. You look like the poor actor guy.
Starving artist.
Yeah, no, it was like the poor equivalent of. And so by the time I finally figured out what he was trying to say, it turned out to be just the poor man. That's what the phrase is.
I've been learning minor bits of Portuguese throughout the trip. Like, boa noite is good night. Irmão is brother. They have this very weird accent going on with like an A tilde. It changes everything. It's very interesting and not in any way, like, there's no smooth transition from French or Spanish to Portuguese. It's a completely different language. There's just some words like federation and shit. That's also there. Or imagination. But the actual, like, linguistic mechanics of it are completely different than the other Romance languages. But yeah, on the whole, things are going semi smoothly. Not really, a day doesn't really go by without something going slightly wrong, and you just sort of get used to it. And like beaten down.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be sheer terror, and now it's like, fuck it.
Yeah, we'll get there if we get there.
Yeah, it's really, that's what it was. It used to be terror on the boat, terror of the fucking ocean, like every night going to sleep, listening to the boom smash around you, be like, oh my god, are we gonna get
Now last time, I was just like, I wasn't even scared, I was just angry.
Yeah. The terror turns to anger, and eventually apathy.
And then dark side.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you're just tired of being worried and
You're
like
tired of the fucking boat moving.
oh yeah, I'm like so angered sometimes. Not angered.
Shit's
So
flying off
frustrated at the fucking ocean when you're just trying to walk a beeline from A to B, and it's just like not happening. I have to pause and take a breather and let the ocean sort his shit out. Like, I understand why. I used to think I knew why sailing was fun, you know, because you get to cruise around and shit. Like, this isn't like Lake Michigan sailing. This is like oh, come on, man. This is long-haul trucker sailing.
Yeah.
It's fucking like, sail work is absolute minimum because you don't want to fuck with the settings.
Yeah,
Like,
really
you're literally like just hanging out chilling for hours.
hoping that you don't have to wake up at 3 a.m. to fucking drop a sail or reef because the storm's coming in.
Yeah, you're just praying to not have to do anything while doing nothing at the same time.
It's the worst. But
It's like a weird waiting game.
But it has been a great learning experience so far.
Big time. I'm learning so much.
Yeah, by the time we get back to stuff, we'll pretty much be seasoned vets in the sea.
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know, but I could say the same for me, but by the time I get back to that stuff, I'd be more than comfortable getting on a smaller boat doing, like, 2 or 3 hours on the bay, like...
That's like a joke.
Yeah, it'd be like, Ben could be like, okay, Steven, fucking tie that down, or, you know...
You won't even have to do anywhere near as much work.
Yeah,
That's the funny part.
I can't even fathom, like, short-haul catamaran sailing to be in any way this, like, stressful or much of a mind fuck.
Yep.
It's just a walk in the park.
It is. It's so much easier.
And, yeah.
So far we've been lucky. We haven't hit any storms. It's been knocking on wood. But, you know...
Hit a couple squalls, but they were really just
they're
missed.
minor, yeah. I mean, we're gonna get into the We're gonna get into the channel. And that's where a few different fronts collide. It'll probably be pretty gnarly there.
My guess for the channel is it'll be choppy water, but not a complex weather system. It'll just be fucking rough ass water. And we had the roughest water last night. I think we're prepared for rough water.
I mean, we've just been getting slapped on the side by the current coming over our bow.
No, it's
not our
fucking,
bow. Sorry,
it's
coming over
starboard, dude.
Yeah, starboard side.
We're just getting like it's just a washing machine, just getting smashed left and right.
Well, it's because we're on a beam reach, so the wind is coming through over our side, and the current's also hitting that side. Is that every once in a while it sounds like a fucking gun goes off, just like, and you'll be in the middle of the night and you'll be like, what the fuck was that? And then the boat will pitch. There's about a half-second delay. The boat will just pitch over because it just got slapped in the keel by a current.
Yeah.
Right under the boat, just hits it.
Like, even
and it pivots the boat a little bit on its bow, like on the front, so the whole boat gets slammed to the side, and then it has to right itself with the autopilot. Who's been the champ, by the way?
Yeah, Mr. Robertson.
No, Otto.
I don't like that. I think that's way too cliche. I like Mr. Robertson.
Yeah, alright, Mr. Robertson, because he's Robertson APP 25 or something.
That's his designation.
Yeah. His call sign as a robot. Autopilot.
Helmsman Mr.
Great.
Robinson.
It's pretty solid, not gonna lie. I can't imagine going on a long trip without one.
Oh, no, never, ever. I wouldn't even consider it. Like, if you ever called me up to do a transpac, I said, yeah, dude, it'd be really cool, we'll take turns helming. I'd be like, you can call someone else.
Even like a trip longer than 2 days, I'd probably be like, no. Like a one-day trip, honestly, like a day trip, 8 hours or less, that's fine. You have 4 people on board, everybody steers for an hour or 2. It's fun. You have landmarks. But when you're in the ocean, there's nothing to steer against. So what happens is if you don't have an autopilot, you're looking at like the horizon, you're trying to pick a cloud and steer perfectly towards that, but you can't you can't line up with anything, and you go off course a little bit, and it costs you time. So the autopilot actually saves you hours or days, depending on how far your trip is. It just stays on a great circle.
It's fucking ridiculous. Also, my one gripe with the ocean is that it's not like, when you're like long hauling in the ocean, it's not like fucking long hauling from like East Coast to West Coast in America, where, you know, you can move from like corn to soybean to corn to like whatever, some other different crop, and you have some sort of variation. It's like, no, the waves are the waves.
It's more waves. You have big waves or you have small waves. You don't really have a lot of options. Not much variety in color. Sometimes you get some sun.
Yeah, like sometimes you get like these like weird deep purple waves. Sometimes you get these like Vanderkamp fish stick blue waves. But like it's not.
It's a lot of bullshit.
Not much more than that.
And like we thought we'd be seeing all sorts of creatures. Like on day 1 we saw dolphins.
I don't know either.
As we were leaving the harbor, all this pack of dolphins came and played with our boat. We saw these dolphins and even a seal.
Okay,
Yeah, cool. So the dolphins and the seals all hanging out, and they were just playing with us, and they kind of hung out with us, and then on day 2 we saw a, what is it called? Harbinger. What is the bird called though?
Albatross?
An albatross, thank you. So days 2 through like 5, an albatross was playing with us, and like literally came hundreds of miles with us, just hanging out. And he never landed on the boat once, but we could tell.
Yeah, dude, we can.
Hundreds of miles.
Sometimes I just see birds that are like out here.
Yeah, they're just hanging out.
We're literally hundreds of miles away from land. I do the charting. We are hundreds of miles from land, hundreds of nautical miles. It's disgusting. I don't know how these birds live. Apparently they sleep on the ocean or something. They nest on the ocean.
They don't nest on the ocean.
Where do they nest?
On land, yeah.
Where? How?
They go to the nearest land point, hundreds of miles away.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I thought there's some birds that live their entire lives on the ocean.
Maybe.
Either way, dude, it's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, what else?
This is just,
yeah.
There's an ETA of 9 days, including today, towards the,
I'm hoping we'll see some whales and cool fish. Like, we saw sunfish, that was odd.
Looks like a piece of floating trash.
Yeah, it really did. I thought it was a joke at first, like a 2D cutout of a fish that someone thrown into the water. It was like a cardboard cutout, but it wasn't. Yeah.
Other than that, there's plans to raise the jib today. I gotta make banana bread.
That's all we got. I'm gonna continue practicing my knots.
Yeah. Yeah, this do-rag really working out for me. I'm really digging it. Ben says he won't walk out in public with me in Hawaii if I keep this shit up. Also haven't showered in days, so I feel disgusting. Both pretty gross. We've been eating like champions though.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean like, dude, for Transpac I haven't eaten so gourmet. It's incredible. I think that's all there is to report. Thank you for watching.
See ya.